Council meeting to order. We'll start off with a roll call to my left.
Councilmember Troy Tabor.
Sherry Geisler, council member.
Clark C.R. Nelson, council member.
Ben Lawrence, Mayor.
Chris S. Caroline Hale, council member.
Greg Schneider, council member.
Captain Joe Schroeder, Andover Police Department.
Donna Davis, Chief Financial Officer.
Mike Roosevelt, Deputy Fire Chief.
JT Klaus, City Attorney.
Les Mangus, Director of Public Works.
Susan Renner, city clerk.
Jennifer McCausland, Assistant City Administrator.
All right, item 3 is the invocation. I don't see anybody here this evening. Chris or Troy, one of you like to volunteer? Greg, you want to volunteer? Perfect.
Everybody could bow their head. Dear Heavenly Father, we are meeting today to conduct matters of business. Guide our hearts and our minds in a spirit of fairness, right thought, and speech. Impart your wisdom upon our activities so that our affairs may reach a successful conclusion. Thank you for being our source of guidance today. Amen.
Amen.
All right, would you stand with us for the Pledge of Allegiance? Ready? Begin. Item number 5 is the public forum. Is there anyone here that wishes to address the council? Yes, sir. If you'll step up to the podium, give your name and address for the record.
Mark Stiles, 2120 South, 159th East, Wichita, 67230.
Okay.
I'm in a stretch of the road. Most of you already know I was here a few weeks back on 159th between Harry and Pawnee. The second half of that mile going south is dirt, potholes, pretty heavily trafficked. After I was here the last time we visited about it, I went to the Minnehaha Township, which was very enlightening in itself. They pretty much said they walked away from it 10 years ago and had no responsibility for it and wasn't going to do anything about it, and that was that was what was said. And as I said before, there's a lot of traffic on the road since the 2 new schools within a couple miles of there. There's 7 buses go by twice a day, and they're in a hurry. We got 62 passenger buses picking up 1 kid in a mile section. They're going 50 by the time they top the hill.
Isn't the speed limit like 55 still on that stretch?
You know, a few years ago, on the Andover side, we got it changed to 40.
Right.
Sedgwick County wouldn't do anything about it. And it being the county line, it seems to be the best place to pitch your liquor bottles and throw your trash out and your washing machine and your mattresses and just, I mean, it's a terrible road. Bill does a great job blading it, but with that kind of traffic, in 2 hours, it looks just like it did before. There hadn't been any product of any kind put on that road, nothing. Not a speck of gravel, not anything, and I bet you at least 10 years. I've been there 17. And there's just, and on top of the crest of that hill, it's rock, so it's not like he can drop a blade down and, you know, do a lot of good. Here, about 2 times ago, he brought a lot of the dirt off of the ditches, and it just kind of clumped up. You know, when it's dry, it really gets bad. And then, of course, when we had this rain on Saturday, it's just pothole. I mean, there's only so much you can do with a grader with that amount of traffic. The 17 years I've been there, the traffic has increased, I bet you 3 times what it used to be.
Well, there's a new neighborhood across the street, basically.
Oh, yeah.
Pretty close to your property, isn't it?
Yeah, and they turn, and it's probably not just them, but you can hear them turn the corner off of Pawnee, and I don't know what the fascination is to spin your car on the gravel, but they do it. They're sideways by the time they top the hill. You know, and it's getting where not only do I have grandkids that live on the other side, but there's a lot of people that walk up and down that road now. Since the housing, there's probably 70 houses in that development. They go, I've been mowing before I've had them washboard out, go in the ditch. I mean, it's just gotten to be a problem, you know.
Let's talk about ownership of that road. I know it's pretty convoluted over there, as it's been on 159th Street forever, but we own the eastern portion of the southern half, is that right? Or do we own any of it?
Rick put together a map after we talked the last time that kind of shows you where the annexation lines are. You see the blue line here is right down the section line between Pawnee at the bottom of the map and about the half-mile point. Mark Stiles' property is right here. So we have right-of-way to the center line there. That would leave the remainder of that right-of-way on the west side of the center line, the section line, to Minnehaha Township. And I have no idea why, but when this large property now, I think it's might be 240 acres, was annexed back in the 70s, the right-of-way was not annexed. So you see the section line and the annexation line, which technically would leave the road maintenance to Bruno Township on the east side. On the west side, I believe the city of Wichita has annexed the road when they platted this Whispering Pines neighborhood and subsequently paved the road from Whispering Pines back to Harry Street.
So that section's not, the paved section's not a problem.
No, not at all. Might be a problem when they have to maintain it because nobody wants to own it either. But as for now, it's not. It's where, I'll tell you what, when they come down the first half a mile of that and it's blacktop, they've got some momentum up. When they hit that dirt, they're cooking.
Yeah.
Probably like Central here.
Yeah, and I haven't figured, what's the shortcut to it? There's a blacktop on each mile. There's no, if you don't live there, what's the shortcut?
Mayor, Jim Howell, after the last WAMPO meeting, actually approached me on this exact thing, and he also was working with, or trying to figure out who owns what. I don't know who's mentioned it to him that this is
I
an
did.
issue. Oh, it was you? Okay.
He was at the meeting. In fact, when the meeting was over, he came out and he said, and I'll quote him, he said, "I have never seen anybody handle the public like this guy does." Who's running, Don Gregg, who runs the township. It's unbelievable, absolutely unbelievable. He told me if I didn't own a $500,000 house in Crestview, didn't matter what I wanted. That's exactly what he said.
Wow.
And you know what I can't understand? The township paid for the whole wall along Crestview.
Yeah, I remember that.
I mean, that's a pretty fancy wall. And the township employees, which now they have two, are go up there. They've got plenty of time to mow up there. They got plenty of time. That is Wichita property. It's not even the township's responsibility. But they haven't been down my road, and he said he thought it'd been at least 10 years.
So, if Minnehaha's out, a long-term solution
It's like us.
would be probably either Sedgwick County or the city of Wichita, right? Troy, your conversation with them where they were wanting to sort this out, are they willing to
Yes.
help?
When I talked to him, because I didn't know this, I pointed him to Les and said, "Hey, we have a couple of people that are experts on this area and what's going on." I think I let you know that that Jim's gonna call him. Dan was there too, Dan Wajak, and so all of us just kind of chatted about it. No conclusion of any kind, but Jim was very adamant at that moment of trying to figure out who owned what and figure out how to remedy this, and that was 2 weeks ago.
Well, obviously, we're gonna have to do something together, since we only own half the road. If we went and we can't make improvements to half a road. I mean, we've gone through this on this stretch between Kellogg and Central before, but we're gonna have to engage, I guess, Sedgwick County and or Wichita.
And Jim was really upset too with the township, and they were saying they didn't have the ability to tax, and he's like, "You're a taxing authority, absolutely, you can fix this road, it's yours, you own it, you must do that." I mean, he's pretty,
Right.
he's that kind of a person, but
We've been down that road with townships before, and
they do whatever they want, kind of thing, yeah.
well, they are elected, and yes, they do have taxing authority, but they don't, some of them barely don't have enough to survive. But as Mark, you alluded to, yeah, they can do certain things, I guess if they want to or choose to, but I don't think the long-term solution is involving Manawha Township. It's
I
going to
agree.
involve Sedgwick County and Wichita. I know it's a pain. You know, we can go out there and maybe see if we can throw some gravel on it, some fresh stuff, and regrade it in the meantime. But you're going to have to give us some time to sort this out with the other governmental authorities and figure out. I mean, our cases, we've always liked to take control, ownership of the road right away too, and this is so messy down there. Most people don't know who it is, who owns what, but now we
Right.
do. But we'll see what we do in the meantime about getting some new product on the road. That's
I
gotta
think that
help.
would probably help, and I don't know
I think
what
that will
product.
help. I mean, it's not going to cut down it's going to add to your dust. You know that
Right.
because it's all chert rock around here. But
What about millings?
we don't have any right now. I mean, we occasionally have some, you know, in our summertime street rehabilitations, but
Can't get something.
can look into that.
APAC, or, I mean, they've got a yard full of it, piles big as this building.
yeah, no, they charge for it.
Okay, well, I'm being charged for the curbs, the gutters, the sewer, the water, none of which Andover even offers me.
Yeah.
And have for 17 years, and I pay.
You
it
getting
good.
special assessments out there?
Oh, yeah. Have for 17 years, or however long they've done it. And I have none of the above.
You have special assessments on that property you own.
I pay $12.50 a month, Donna. In fact, I've gotten where I'm paying for curbs, gutters, city sewer, city water. What's that for, trash?
You're paying for recycling and stormwater.
You don't even offer it where I'm at. Where's my stormwater go? In my pond. And there's none of those
We
things there.
can look at that, but I don't believe you're being. I mean, I know
Okay.
I know you're being charged for property taxes.
No, what's the $12.50 a month that comes from the city of Andover?
$12.50.
Yeah.
It's stormwater and recycling.
Yeah. It's trash.
Trash.
Stormwater.
It's not curb and gutter, no.
Okay, so it's stormwater and recycling. And you get your trash service from somebody else, I presume?
Yeah, I mean,
Or you burn it?
do they offer it down there where I'm at?
You can't opt out of the recycling, I know that. And I think your property's actually in the city limits, isn't it?
Oh,
You
yeah.
said Wichita
Absolutely,
before,
it's city, Andover, city limits.
but in the city limits of Andover, okay.
Isn't that nice?
That's awesome.
You go to the tag office, I've only been doing it for 38 years, and where do you live?
Right.
Okay, appreciate it.
Yep. We'll do what we can.
I just don't want to sweep it under the rug and keep going till somebody.
No, I understand.
You know.
We got it. We'll start some more conversations.
Thank you.
Yep. All right, we're still in public forums. Anyone here that wishes to address the council?
That's pretty awesome.
All right, we will close the public forum and move on to the acceptance of the agenda. My understanding is that staff has requested by way of the developer to remove item 14.1 from
That is correct,
the
Mayor.
agenda. Any other modifications?
That's the only change I'm aware of.
It's 14-1.
14.1.
The annexation.
Mr. Mayor, I would move to accept the agenda as presented with the exclusion of 14.1, and this would include paragraph 18.1 for an executive session. Otherwise, it'd be as presented.
Okay.
Second.
You have a motion to modify the agenda to strike item 14.1 from the agenda and keep the executive session?
Yes, sir.
It's 18? Okay.
Well, it would be 16 then, wouldn't it?
It's 18.
16
No.
is the public commission,
Mission.
Public Building Commission.
So I understand the motion to be correct and the second. Further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Item number 7, we have the 2016 Life Safety Achievement Award. Mr. Roosevelt, welcome this evening.
Mr. Mayor and Council, it's my privilege to be before you this evening not because Chief Russell is still vacationing and probably returning towards home at present, but to announce to the council and staff and everyone else that your fire department has once again achieved an award of recognition from the National Association of State Fire Chiefs and Grinnell Mutual Insurance Company for being able to provide a fire-safe community and having zero loss of life in the calendar year of 2016. This award is given to departments who meet that goal or reduce their life loss by 10%. We do not fall into that category. We have not had a loss of life in our jurisdiction in some time. And as an amendment, not amendment, but in addition to that, those departments have to have very active fire prevention programs, and they're evaluated, and we have once again achieved that award. This is the third year running that we've received that award, and in the past couple of weeks we've met with in excess of 400 children, over 150 people during Andover Days, providing fire safety messages, and that's going to continue through the month of October. And just remind everybody to check your smoke detectors and have a safe way out.
Congratulations, once
Thank you.
again. All right, we will move on to item number 8. We have a presentation this evening by the Andover Rotary Club.
Mr. Mayor and Council, good evening. Mark Owens, member of the Andover Rotary Club. I don't like to assume that everybody, even though we've been a part of this community for quite a while, don't want to assume that you know everything about the Rotary Club. So our purpose tonight, we wanted to do a couple of things. We wanted to just remind you, just a quick reminder of what we do in this community, what we've been doing for a long time. And thank you for the opportunity to partner together, especially recently in the summer concert series. It's getting pretty exciting out there at Central Park. So Rotary International is just a brief background. Rotary International is the largest professional service organization in the world. It's also the oldest. 2.3 million members around the world, 33,000 clubs, and over 200 countries, of which Andover is part of that. We have been one of the most active clubs in Rotary in this regional area. We've won about every award you could win in Rotary as far as clubs go. And it's pretty remarkable. I was a charter member in 2003 whenever we started this club. And it's a testimony to the people that are in this club. Roughly 30 to 35 members do an amazing amount of things in this community that we'll show you in just a minute. But just wanted to, first of all, thank you for the opportunity to partner together in the summer concert series to serve the beer to the thousands that are there. It's a challenge. It's a fun time. Our club enjoys doing it. It's one of our two sources of raising funds that we put back in the community. And I think the one message that I like to, if we don't hear anything else, it's tonight, it's that we really see this partnership with the city of Andover as a win-win, because 90-something%, and Grant's got the exact percentage, but 90-something% of everything we raise comes back into the community. So it recycles back into the Andover community. And some of you may be surprised in a minute when you see all the different things that we do on a regular basis. So everything we raise, we keep it right here for the most part. We have a couple of international projects we help with. But I wanted to introduce our newest service chair, Grant Garwood. He's one of our newer members and is our service chair this year. And he's going to show you just briefly a PowerPoint on some of the things we do in the Andover community.
Thank you for having us this evening. As Mark mentioned, I do want to mention a few things. I'm the new recent chair of the service committee for the Andover Rotary Club. Mark actually mentioned most of this first slide here, but I'll mention it anyway. Our club was actually chartered in early 2003. We do have 31 current active members. We do have some corporate memberships as well, so that actually, in reality, is a little bit closer to 40 members for our Andover Club. 94% of our club's net income is actually, as Mark mentioned, funneled back into the Andover community. And you'll notice the little asterisk that we have there next to the 94%. The reason that's there, if you look in the bottom left-hand corner, in our 2016-2017 fiscal year, we did a project, a one-time project in Zimbabwe, and had a tremendous impact on about 200 or 300 young kids in Zimbabwe. So that's a little bit atypical for us to have a year like that. Generally speaking, 94% of our club's net income is funneled back into the Andover community. So our service projects, and I'll kind of go through these quickly. You have the handouts, should be able to review this if you'd like to. Service projects, we have 10 different service projects. 9 of these 10 service projects are recurring service projects. The final one there, Scarf House, is actually a one-time project. We do occasionally pick up a one-time project and then drop it, and then once they're set, and then move on to the next one-time project if needed. Andover Caring and Sharing. We work with the fire department and several Andover churches to provide Christmas gifts and also food to families in need in the Andover area. We do provide time and also ongoing financial support as needed for that as well. Andover Food Bank, we partner with United Methodist Church as well as the food bank to make sure that shelves are stocked at the food bank. People come through there, through the community, and they need food to eat. We want to be a resource for them, and Rotarians volunteer their time and also financial support for that. Andover Literacy Project. This is our newest project. This is the first year for it. We partner with 4 other organizations here in the community, and our club actually purchases books and takes them to the Andover Food Bank. Families and kids that visit the Andover Food Bank are actually able to take the books that the Rotary Club has purchased. They can take those back home and read them then. They're age-appropriate materials for families that visit the food bank there. The Andover Summer Lunch Program, it's kind of in the name there. We work with the food bank to provide meals for kids that may not get a meal during the summer otherwise. Kids typically get a meal at school during the school year, so this is a way for us to give back and provide food to the kids during the summer months. And we provide time and financial support as needed there as well. Greater Andover Days, we do provide support to the city. We keep things running smoothly in the food court and the vendor area, make sure that things are clean, taken care of, that people that are funneling through from the community members, that we're just taking care of what we need to there. Hands to Serve, we do work with Hands to Serve on individual projects throughout the year. We've listed some of the projects there, property cleanup, carpentry, anything that Hands to Serve has, they reach out to us and we coordinate with them and work on individual projects with them as well. Club members provide time and effort for those projects. Kids for Kids, again, this is in the name. Our Rotarians support high school students who take an initiative and serve the underprivileged children here in the Andover community. We volunteer our time and also provide financial support through the sponsorship of a table at their annual banquet / fundraiser. Novel Journeys. This is something that we've partnered with Tom Taylor at the Andover Public Library. I'm sure most of you know him. Our main objective here is to transport books and reading materials to and from the library to people's homes who may not have access to reading material or visit the library on a regular basis. So we're able to pick those books up, provide them with new books, and we do that on an ongoing basis for them. RYLA, Rotary Youth Leadership Awards. We do sponsor up to 4 scholarships per year for area high school seniors. They attend a week-long leadership camp at Southwestern College, as you see there, and Rotary does provide the full funding of these particular scholarships. Scarf House. I did mention that there was one one-time project that we're doing this year. Again, we'll pick up a new one next year, but we did partner with the Andover YMCA, Academy Sports. They provided a basketball hoop, APAC Wichita, Barron Concrete. We put in a concrete basketball court for the Scarf House residents there. Most of you probably know what the Scarf House is, but we were able to actually take down a fence for them, build a concrete basketball court, and then allow kids to be able to use that. And we also provide ongoing financial support there as needed as well. If you have any questions, certainly welcome to answer those. I think Mark has a few things yet here, but I appreciate the time.
Yeah, thanks, Grant. That One Zimbabwe project actually has a local connection because that was Ron Cutter, veterinarian in this community that is a part of a trust organization that takes care of some wildlife land over in Africa in Zimbabwe, and they found 2 schools there in Zimbabwe that did not have. The kids were sitting on dirt and they didn't have meals at lunch. They would walk miles to school because they wanted to be at school, but they didn't have any way to eat. So we put in a generator to bring water into the school, and we bought a whole bunch of desks to get kids up off the dirt so they could work at desks. And so we've got a lot of happy kids over in Zimbabwe because of Ron Cutter's involvement with that. So that our international project had a local connection. That's basically, we didn't want to take any more time than that. We just wanted you to know what we do in this community. If you didn't know, we love the community of Andover. We've been invested in it since 2003. We would like to continue partnering with you, particularly for the summer concert series. It's exciting to see what's going on in Central Park. And I know that some of our members are going to have some more discussions with Mark and Jenny and some others about specifics and some details about what we can do. We had a very good, we raised quite a bit of amount this year through this last concert, and we wanted to give 20% of it back to the city. Hopefully you can use it in Central Park for something. We'd like to talk about maybe a Rotary emblem on the patio or something like that, but we'd like to present $1,460 of our earnings this last summer back to the city to use in Central Park. So,
Thank you.
There's the real check. The real check.
The real one.
Nowadays you just take a picture and you can deposit things. So.
There you go. Get in there.
Yeah.
We got Mike Thompson and Tony Durano from our club.
Get the Andover.
Very
one.
nice. Yeah, plus the Andover logo a little bit to your left, Susan. There you go. There you go.
Did Mr. Thompson get his share out of this deal?
Where's Mike?
He's in there.
Very nice.
He's hiding.
That's awesome. Thank you.
I do need the big check back.
Darn it.
Try a race, we can keep using it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, we will move on to item number 9, which is the consent agenda. That's items 9.1 through 9.11.
Mr. Mayor, I move we approve the consent agenda, items 9.1 through 9.11.
Second?
Motion by Chris, second by CR to approve the consent agenda as presented. Further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Item number 10. The South Andover Road, 4 Mile Creek to Southwest 120th Street. You have bids?
Yes, on last Thursday, KDOT received the bids for the South Andover Road project from 4 Mile Creek to Southwest 120th Street. They had 7 bidders from around the state, not just locally here in Wichita area. The low bidder was Cornejo and Sons, $3,691,851. The engineer's estimate for the construction portion of the project was $5,558,773. That's 34% below the engineer's estimate. So it's a really great bid. We were
Excellent.
quite surprised. The action tonight is just to accept that bid and authorize the mayor to sign the authority to award contract commitment of city funds for KDOT to proceed on into contracting.
Mr. Mayor,
Sure.
I'm very impressed with that bid, and I'd like to make a motion to accept the bid from Corneo and Sons in the amount of $3,691,851 for South Andover Road, 4 Mile Creek to Southwest 120th improvements, and authorize the mayor to sign the authority to award the contract commitment of city funds.
Second.
Motion by Sherry, second by Caroline to accept the bid from Cornejo Sons in the amount of $3,691,851 for the South End of Road, 4 Mile Creek, Southwest 120th Street, and authorize the mayor to sign the authority to award contract commitment of the city funds. Further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Who's the
Excellent.
project manager on that? Yeah, who's doing inspections and
Trans Systems.
All right, item number 11, 159th Street KTA Bridge Project.
This item is the agreement between KDOT, the City of Andover, and Trans Systems for the preliminary engineering for the project at the bridge replacement at 159th Street on the KTA. You may recall that this project is a little bit different than normal in that we have a $980,000 congressional earmark from back in 2006 that we're spending, which allows us to spend federal funds on preliminary engineering, right-of-way acquisition, and utility relocation. You don't normally see this agreement because KDOT's actually stepping up to pay part of that $980,000 for the preliminary engineering. So your action here tonight is just to approve that agreement that sets up the relationship between the city, KDOT, and Trans Systems for the preliminary engineering.
Mr. Mayor,
Sure.
I'll make a motion to approve as presented.
Second.
Motion by Sherry, second by Chris to approve the three-party agreement as presented. Further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. I have a question along those lines, not necessarily to this project, but we mentioned a while back that it would probably behoove us to extend the paving all the way to Central. Is this project itself is not going to do that, right?
Correct. This is a bridge-only project.
Have we given any thought to doing that? What, we got 1,000 extra feet, probably?
It's just shy of a half mile.
Shy of a half mile, okay.
We have talked about that. Mark and I, as a matter of fact, talked about it last week, and the timing is right now to get started on preliminary engineering if we intend to do a city-at-large project, get the engineering started, and we could either bid the bridge and the road project separately, or bid the bridge with non-participating money to fund the road improvements.
Right.
My opinion on that, I think we would be money ahead to let the KDOT project stand on its own and just tie it together with a city-at-large project. There's a certain premium that you pay to operate under KDOT's procedures.
Right.
and their payment procedure and inspection, so I really think we're better off to stand alone.
So you're going to bring us a proposal for an engineering agreement for design?
Yes,
Okay.
we can do that.
I think it would behoove us, especially in light of a recent project we heard that might be popping up in that area too. So definitely gonna increase the traffic, and in addition to all the other condos that have just been built there. I mean, I think the traffic's gone up, so, but it makes perfect sense, so that section will be complete. That section from 13th to 21st Street anyway, so that sounds great. We'll move on to item number 12, end of road streetlights.
As we discussed last night at the workshop, we have the authority now from Westar to install banner brackets on the 45 new street light poles on Andover Road between 13th Street and US 54. We have priced swing away banner saver brackets to put on all of those poles. These are the type of brackets that have a spring loaded so that when the wind blows really hard, the banner actually swings away from the wind, takes all the stress off of both the banner and the poles. Should last a lifetime. And we also have a proposal to buy 20 banners to install holiday banners for this season as we work towards our Planning Walkable Places grant to talk about wayfinding and wait until that logo and graphics are in place to buy the full set of permanent banners. So the prices there are $61.73 and 51 cents to banner saver for the brackets and $720 to print me a sign for the 20 holiday banners.
Mr. Mayor,
Chris?
I move that we authorize the purchase of the 45 brackets and the 20 holiday banners as presented.
Second.
Motion by Chris, second by Troy to approve the purchases of the brackets and the banners as presented. Further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Item 13. Speaking of walkable places, Grant.
Again, last night we talked a little bit about the Planning Walkable Places grant. You recall that the grant was $20,000 with a $5,000 match. This agreement just sets up a relationship between the City of Andover, KDOT, WAMPO, and the City of Wichita for the hiring of a consultant to put together that wayfinding policy and plan.
Is there a motion
Great.
to approve?
So moved,
Second?
Mayor.
Motion by Chris, second by Sherry to approve the agreement as presented. Further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Item number 14. As we're skipping item 14.1, we'll just go directly into 14.2 for Prairie Creek Phase 3 stormwater improvement bids. I see the bid tabulations on the podium this evening.
And I believe Brent Wooten is here to discuss this item as well.
Mayor Lawrence and City Council. I'm Brent Wooten, representing Boffman Company, which is a consulting engineer for Paul Kelsey, developing Prairie Creek Addition Phase 3, which we're doing that one first, and then next up is second phase. So kind of do them in reverse order there, but he is needing some more residential lots, so we jumped over to Phase 3. We let 2 projects today. One of them was a stormwater drain project. The second project was sanitary sewer and water. Combined, that bid needs to be reworked a little bit for his petition. We're going to defer, I think, 3 weeks to your next council meeting on the sanitary sewer and water and bring that back to your agenda.
I'm assuming that your bids were over the petition amount?
The water line was over a little bit. The sanitary sewer was under quite a bit. So we've got to redo the water. And there was some things that the rural water district required as far as some of their expensive pipe that helped run the price up.
They're a real pain, aren't they?
Yeah.
We
So
found
anyway,
that out.
on the storm water drain project, we had a total of 5 contract bids on that. Engineer's estimate was $327,000, I believe.
330?
330.
And the lowest bid was by Unruh Excavation of Mound Ridge, Kansas. They did perform the previous work out there a few years ago, about 6 or 7 years ago, and have done a lot of good work in there. Their bid was $329,747. So they're like less than $3,000 over the engineer's estimate. The petition, we maxed out the petition in there, exclusive of the soft cost, but that petition does have several months of 1% increase in there allowed, which I did not use. We could certainly rewrite a engineer's estimate to pick up that small difference. So I would ask your consideration to increase the engineer's estimate and authorize that project to go forward and award it to Unruh Excavation.
What's the petition
Glad to
amount?
answer any questions.
Yeah, can I get one point of clarification there? Earlier today, we understood the bid to be 0.3% higher than the construction estimate, but on the spreadsheet
Bid
we've been
tabulation.
provided, it's actually less. So
Less than that, yeah.
what is the engineer's estimate? Is it 330 or is it 327?
I think it's 327 was, and I didn't bring the old sheets. So do you happen to have those?
No.
The old bid sheets?
No. This is all I have.
It adds up
I
to
think-
330, but
Yeah.
I think it's
that 1% must be
327,000.
figured in here.
Who prepared the bid?
They did.
We did.
You put 330,000 as the engineer's probable estimate.
I'm sorry, say it again?
You put 330,000 as the engineer's probable estimate. Are you
Yeah.
saying that it's 327?
No. The, the bid sheet that we had,
This is what we're doing.
let's see what the,
That's probably what he's requesting.
yes, we have revised this that fits within the petition to $330,000. And that allows a valid bid.
The original amount's not here, I think is what he's saying. Yeah.
We need to get to the bottom of this. We need to know what the original petition amount was for these stormwater drain improvements because we need to know the actual number. We're gonna,
Why don't you
why don't we table this for a moment?
table this item, because I think Donna went to go check. I
We're
do.
gonna table this, Brent, if you'll hang on.
Okay.
And just so that
Sorry,
we're
I didn't
clear-
bring
It's
that
a
original petition with
technicality
us.
here that we're talking about, so.
And so we're clear for everyone, we're expecting the petition amount to be quite a bit higher than that because it has a 35% administrative financing and other soft costs,
Right.
which is usually significant and actually would probably protect against this small overage without the 1% crawl every month. But we think your data needs to be correct, and I think Donna went to go check.
Give us a few minutes.
Okay.
It's never very good when the engineer's the low bidder. You know this, right?
I've dealt with that before.
Let's move on. Let's table that and move on to item 15, which is the South Andover Road annexation.
Mayor, before you tonight is an ordinance to annex portions of South Andover Road. This is a result of ongoing conversations with Butler County, individuals who live on that portion of the road, in an effort to make both patrol and police, law enforcement consistent, as well as road maintenance consistent.
Right. Well, I'm glad this came through. I know several of the staff went to the county meeting. They didn't have any objections. Everybody agreed that it needs cleaned up. And it seems like that's what we're doing all the time these days, is cleaning up our road right-of-ways. But this does it. It would take effect pretty soon, and it would free up for proper enforcement of that stretch. So I support the annexation as presented, and I'm looking for a motion to approve it.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Sherry, motion by Sherry, second by Chris to adopt the ordinance annexing certain portions of Andover Road into the city limits of Andover as presented. Further discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. We'll give it a few more times. Let's go ahead and have our executive session here. We need to add a couple purposes.
Sir, do
Did I
you
miss
want
one?
to do the public building commission?
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. I missed them all. Okay, I need a motion to recess the Andover City Council meeting and call to order the meeting of the Public Building Commission.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Troy, second by Sherry to recess the City Council meeting and call to order the Public Building Commission. Further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Madam President.
Thank you, Mayor. At this time, we'll call to order tonight's Public Building Commission meeting. We'll start off with the roll call to my left.
Troy Tabor, Commissioner.
Sherry Geisler, Commissioner.
Clark C.R. Nelson, Commissioner.
Ben Lawrence, Public Building Commissioner.
Chris Estes, President.
Caroline Hale, Commissioner. You're Commissioner.
Greg Schneider, Commissioner.
Okay, the first item we have is to approve our last meeting's minutes from July 25th, 2017. Did everybody see those or have
Thank
any
you.
corrections?
Madam President, I'd move to approve the minutes as presented.
Second.
Thank you. We have a motion by CR and a second by Caroline to approve the meeting minutes as presented. Further discussion? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And the motion carries. We have the item Capitol Federal Amphitheater, and it looks like we have a change order and a signed proposal. So the first one is a change order request number 1.
Change order 1 is to have the contractor sandblast the Capitol Federal logo into the concrete circle that's in front of the stage per our agreement.
So we need $8,000 for that, right?
Correct.
What do you think?
I'd make a motion to approve as presented.
Second?
Thank you. A motion by Ben and a second by CR to approve the change order request number 1 as presented. Further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And the motion carries. Happy sandblasting. And the second item is our sign proposal.
The second change order is to fabricate and install the Capitol Federal signs both on the monument wall and the header above the front of the stage, per our agreement.
Okay. And now we're close to just below 9,000. All right.
Madam President, I'd move to approve the proposed form for the sign as presented.
Second.
Thank you. We have a motion by CR and a second by Caroline to approve the proposal for the monument and stage signs in the amount of $8,990. Further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And the motion carries. That looks like the end of our items, so now we need a motion to adjourn.
Move to adjourn the Public Building Commission meeting and reconvene the City Council meeting.
Second.
Okay. We have a motion by Greg and a second by Caroline to adjourn our Public Building Commission meeting and reconvene the City Council meeting. Further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And we are adjourned, and back to you, Mayor.
All right, let's move back up to item 14.1. Brent, did you get a copy of, come on back up here a second.
Point 2.
2.
All right, sorry, 14.2. Okay, so what's the story here?
Mr. Mayor, the petition amount was $307,000 with a 7% contingency of $21,490. So if you take the 307 and add in all of the contingency, you arguably have a full petition amount of $328,490.
Short $1,000.
Yes.
The bid amount is then roughly 0.39% above the total estimate. To be clear, so that we don't confuse the petition amount, there's an additional 35% in there for design, inspection, and administration. And so there's still $107,450 left in the petition for that purpose. And so there's probably not a significant risk here with the 1% crawl, except that the 35% does have to accommodate temporary net. Which is, it
So you're comfortable awarding the bid tonight?
I think staff thinks, I'm sorry, Mr. Mayor, I think staff thinks it will be okay if you want to award this bid tonight. I think that it's close enough to with the contingency and that we've got enough in the petition to cover it.
But I know you need to start digging. I mean, it'd be better if this thing was clean, but we're getting a time of year where the ground's getting ready to freeze and you need to go. Okay, I mean, if
I don't have a problem with it.
if it's gonna be good, you say it's good. Do I hear you say that? Do I hear you both say that?
Going once.
Okay. Well, staff, what's your pleasure? It looks like Unruh Excavating was the low bid here.
Mr. Mayor, I would move to accept the low bid of Unruh Excavating of Mound Ridge, Kansas, in the amount of $329,747 for the Prairie Creek Phase 3 Stormwater Improvement Project, and authorize the mayor to sign the contract.
Second.
All right, motion by CR, second by Greg to award the Prairie Creek Phase 3 for stormwater drainage improvements to Unruh Excavating, amount not to exceed $329,747 as presented. Further discussion. What are you gonna do if you get a change order?
Well,
No change orders.
No change orders.
it is what it is.
You better tell them no change
No
orders.
change orders.
It will preferably be a reduction.
We'll see about that.
Reduction.
Further discussion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
All right. We're down to item 18, which is an executive session. I did add a couple things that I wanted to add to this. One of the purposes was property acquisition. Another purpose was non-elected personnel. And what was the purpose of the initial discussion for the executive session this evening?
I think the executive session was for land discussion under 754319B6, the justification being land acquisition, and the purpose being the discussion of a possible offer to purchase real
Okay.
estate.
That's fine.
That is the purpose of
That is the purpose. Can I add the second purpose of non-elected
You
personnel?
have to do that as a separate executive session because it doesn't, I'm happy to go, but it doesn't necessitate the
Okay.
city attorney and may have different attendees.
I don't believe the second one is absolutely necessary. We'll stick with the first one. To include, governing body, assistant city administrator, and the city attorney.
I think we have the director of public works in that as well for the land acquisition.
That's fine.
So move.
For
How
15
long?
minutes,
15?
according to this.
7 minutes.
Say 10.
So
10 's
10
enough.
minutes.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion by CR and a second by Sherry to go in executive session for consultation with the city attorney to include the governing body, the city attorney, the assistant city administrator, and the public works director for approximately 10 minutes for the purpose of discussing land acquisition.
Okay.
Further discussion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
He's not gonna do, he's gonna do it in there illegally.
I didn't hear that.
Okay, where are we here now?
Okay, I need a motion to come out of executive session.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Sherry, second by Caroline to come out of executive session. Further discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. I guess we're down to member items. You want to start us off, Troy?
Yeah, nothing tonight.
Nada?
Nada.
I have nothing tonight.
Nada. CR.
See, nada.
Nothing but
Chris.
have a safe Halloween. That's all.
Caroline.
Just a quickie. Fire and Rescue came to my rescue today. Just want to thank them. You know, we all think we're never going to need them, but my mother managed to trip herself coming into the house, and I blocked the fall, but we couldn't get her up, and she couldn't get up. And so I tried for quite a while with every kind of stool, put your hand on this, and we'll go to this, and tried my neighbors, and couldn't find anybody, so we called the 911, and the folks were there and stood her right up, but she just needed somebody that just completely lift her up so she didn't have to use her arthritic knees and bend and all that. So thank you very much. Greatly appreciated. And they were very professional and very much needed and appreciated.
I have nothing.
Staff have anything? You're nodding your head yes? Okay.
I just wanted to remind everybody about voting. Thursday, November 2nd, 12 to 7. This is all at St. Vincent de Paul is early voting. Friday, November 3rd, noon to 7 p.m. Saturday, November 4th, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. And of course, you can vote at the county courthouse from October 23rd through November 3rd from 8 to 5. And then Monday, November 6th from 8 till noon. And then on election day, Tuesday, November 7th, if you reside south of Central Avenue, you'll vote at St. Vincent de Paul, 123 North Andover Road. If you reside north of Central Avenue, it's United Methodist Church at 1429 North Andover Road. From 6 a.m. The polls open at 6 a.m. I have polls times from the county's web, or from the state website. A lot of polls are 7 to 7. We open at 6 here in Andover. And then, of course, you can also go to the courthouse.
Bring an ID.
Can I ask a question?
And isn't it just the school board and the city council are the only two things on the ballot,
And
correct?
the Butler
And those
County
times are
Commissioners.
posted on
Oh,
our
the
city
commissioners too.
website? Or do we have to go to county? Facebook and?
No, the college trustee is what I meant. Sorry, the community college trustee.
Well, that's nice.
Anything else?
Move to adjourn.
Second.
Motion by CR, second by Sherry. Further discussion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. We are adjourned.
This was so nice. This was nice of Susan.
No.